So you've now been talking about this movie since what time this morning?
Oh my God. I don't know. Time to pick up. Where are we? LA?
Early.
Early.
But proud to be talking about this movie early into the late night.
Right.
You get on a plane how early tomorrow? When do we leave from BC?
I'm leaving before you. I'm leaving 8:30 in the morning.
You know what I was just told? And I can't really complain, but I'm in like the middle seat, in like the last row of the plane. I'm like, just get me there. They're like, sorry, do you mind sitting in the middle seat? I'm like, fine.
Good for you. We want to go in the front row and get sleep.
They put you in the middle seat?
Well, you know, it was last minute. It happens.
Right. So I was at the Academy for the premiere a few weeks ago, and it was pretty extraordinary at the end when the men who had been imprisoned unjustly for 10 or 20 years were all up there. I mean, it was. I mean, have there been
one of them 26 years? This was at the premiere in LA.
Oh, okay.
We had the exonerees. We had like 9 exonerees there.
Yeah.
Have there been a lot of moments like this over the course of this film?
No, that was a special moment, and one in which was obviously really exciting and something that we talked about doing. We wanted to have a screening for all exonerees, but they're all really spread out, and it was hard to get everyone together and their families. So it was nice to be able to get, you know, there were some from Texas and some from San Diego, right? I think,
Right.
who
Different
were,
places.
yeah, who were in for that screening.
There were 259, so
all together. So
around the U.S. So
thanks to you and the Innocence Project.
Barry Sheck mostly.
I mean, Betty Ann, how crucial was it to you that this movie would raise awareness as well as just telling your brother's story?
To me, that was the #1 reason. It's my brother's story is once it was free, that was it for me. Like that's all I needed. But the movie, that's what it's all about. It's about raising the awareness and letting everybody know and getting more innocent people free.
Right. So, I mean, Hilary, normally if you're playing a real person, but it's not a person that the general public knows, you know, you're free to take liberties. And in this case, the person you're playing is in the other room watching on a monitor as you're doing it.
Yeah.
Does that change the equation?
Well, you know, I will say that I felt a big responsibility to do justice to Betty Ann's story and Kenny's story. It was, you know, when you're playing a fictional character, you can take any liberty you want, but it really was on all of our shoulders to be sure we were telling the story that Betty Ann and her family they could stand by. And say, oh yeah, that's how it went. I mean, the worst thing was to be at that premiere we were all at and have Betty Ann look over at me and go, what were you thinking, you know? I wouldn't be able to live with myself if that happened. And after getting to know Betty Ann, she's the least judgmental person in the world, and it was wonderful to have her on set. She was actually really helpful. We had a lot of questions, and she was always there to just help make it as honest as possible.
Betty, were there any moments during this when you thought, oh, I don't know if they're going down the right track, or things that worried you?
No, actually no, because I saw different things that they were doing, and it was sometimes out of sequence, or they did a scene that might have not actually happened, but they were looking for a certain emotion. I think somehow, like Tony will tell you, that I just got that for some reason, and I did. I knew what they were looking for because I felt those emotions they were looking for, and how they do it is they're great at their craft. That's all there is to it. They just are.
I saw a quote from Tony about you, Hilary, where he said that you said something to him at one point about, I've come to accept that this is the kind of role that I was born to play.
I don't know if I said I've come to accept, because that would mean that I was maybe somehow unhappy with that or something. I said to Tony that this is the type of role that I feel I was born to play. I feel like this is why I'm an actor, is to tell these types of stories. And there's nothing but pride and joy behind that.
We were talking earlier about women in Hollywood and the lack of roles. I mean, it does seem like this is a film where there are several major roles that are played by women, and a lot of your scenes are against other women. Did that feel like something different for you?
And other great women, Minnie Driver and Juliette Lewis and Melissa Leo, fantastic actors who their work continually blows my mind. So to be able to collaborate with them, they're real girls too. They're passionate about telling the story, and so we were all in there. We were all in there together, and it was extraordinary and rare, like you said.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks very much.